What is a search engine? A search engine is a software that reads online content on millions of websites on the internet. Now, of course, the most common search engine out there is the Google search right here. So let's take it for example, if I want to search for running shoes. So I will just type running shoes, and immediately Google will list all the websites pertaining to this keyword running shoes, like this, for example. If I click on it, you'll see that this is a web page on runnersworld.com. So the question now is, how does Google know this website? So if you go back, Google actually has all this website's information stored in its database. It collects all the online content of all these websites and store it in its huge databases inside thousands of servers. So the way how Google reads all these websites are by using a software called Googlebot. Googlebot, what sounds like Google Robot, is actually a software that Google uses to collect all the online content available on all the websites, or most websites. What it does is this software will actually crawl, enters into all these websites that you see around the world, and it reads all the content. So whatever content that you can read can be read by this robot too. Then after it read all this content, it stores it in Google's databases. That's how you get to see a list of websites and online content available here. Here is the market share for search engines around the world. As of June 2018, Google is, as you know, is the runaway winner. Google is the king of all search engines. As you can see, it covers 90% of all search engines used in the world, followed by Bing, Yahoo, Baidu, which is used in China, and the rest. Well, let's look at other websites too. Here, it also shows that Google is clearly the leader in search engines against the rest here, as well as here. Now, if you have a website, you definitely want Google to rank your website high on Google search engine result. Then, if you have the time, probably you can try to work on Bing and Yahoo. Now, Bing and Yahoo, they share the same search engine software. So once you work on Bing, it also works on Yahoo. So what is search engine optimization, or in short, SEO? SEO is a process to rank your website high on search engine results. What is a search engine result? Here, we can see that this is a search engine result for the keyword running shoes. So you can see that runnersworld.com outrank Nike.com. So the process of getting all these websites to rank high up here on Google search results shown here is called SEO. Here's an example of a Google search result that we achieved for the keyword Fantasy World Cup 2014. Now, the first ranked website here is actually my website for my previous startup, which I sold. So you can see that we are actually outranking websites like FIFA. So the keyword here is Fantasy World Cup 2014. This is another example of Google search result of the keyword Fantasy MotoGP. So our website is ranked on top here for this keyword. It's actually a fantasy sports game for motor racing fans. So we also outranked the official website for MotoGP here, MotoGP.com, which also has a fantasy game here. If you search for the keyword easiest sports to learn, you'll find that my blog post here is ranked number 1. This is the article. And if you search top websites for catchy slogan, my another website is ranked on the first page here. If you're running a WordPress website, it is very easy for you to generate a sitemap because there are so many plugins available for you to do that. So let's go ahead and go to the plugins section and click on Add New. And let's search for sitemap. You'll find that there are a lot of sitemap plugins that you could use. Now, I will always recommend you to use yours. This is not exactly a sitemap plugin, but it is actually an SEO package packed all into one single plugin. And you'll find this plugin very handy to have on your website, as what more than 1 million other website owners are experiencing. So this is already been installed, as you can see. Once you have installed Yoast SEO plugin, you should have a menu item down here. Mouse over it and select XML sitemaps. And you will see a page like this. Ensure that this is enabled as shown here, and you can see that your XML sitemap will be available by clicking on this button here. You should be able to see something like this. This sitemap is actually auto-generated by Yoast SEO. So you don't always have to generate this sitemap. It's automatically done each time you add a content on your WordPress website. You could change the max entries per sitemap here if you want to, but you can just leave it like this. Next, let's go to user sitemap here. You can enable this if you want to show the author of each article. And you can also click on post types if you want to include it or exclude it on your sitemap. You could exclude specific posts that you have on your website and a lot more. So if you're done, just click on Save Changes. So this will be the link to your sitemap here. And you might be wondering, do you need to manually generate a new sitemap each time you add a new article on your website? Well, the answer is no, because Yoast SEO here will automatically add that new article that you created on the sitemap. That's the beauty of this plugin. To generate a sitemap for your website, just go to Google and search for Sitemap Generator, and you should have this result. Then click on this one here, or you can choose other websites as well, but I prefer this one. So I will just enter my website domain name, and I will click on Start button here. So what it does is this website here actually crawls my website and find all the content I have and put it on a XML file, which will be read by Google. So it's done. So let's look at the sitemap details here. So this is the sitemap, and I could view the full sitemap here in its raw format. And finally, I'll just download this file here. click on download, and store it any way I want. If you want to submit your sitemap to Google, you need to use the tool called Google Search Console, or it's also called Google Webmasters. So to go to that tool, you just have to go Google the keyword, Google Webmaster, and you will see a URL like this, which is google.com/webmasters with an S. Click on it, and you will see a page like this. Now, just click on this Search Console button down here. Click on Start Now. And here is where you need to log in into your Google account. So I'll log into mine. Okay, so this is the Google Search Console tool. So the first step that you need to do is to add your website domain name, which is here. So I will use my domain name, which is boofstand.com. Now in the previous Google Search Console version, you have to enter the HTTP or HTTPS. Now you don't have to, you just enter your domain name without the HTTP. Okay, then click on continue. So the next step is for you to verify that you own this domain name. So this is the verification process via DNS record. So what I need to do is I need to log in or sign into my domain name provider, which is like Namecheap, GoDaddy, Wild West Domains, or anything that you're using. Or you can even do that at your cPanel. I use a cPanel, so I'll be doing that on my cPanel. So what I need to do is I need to copy the text record below here for this domain name. So I click on copy. Then I go to my cPanel, which is this. I will go to the domain section, go to zone editor down here. This is the domain. So I'll click on manage. And at the button here, click on the down arrow, select add txt record. So here is where I will add that txt record that I just copied. So I will enter here will be the boofstand.com domain name. Type will be txt and record will be the one that I just copied from Google. Select paste and click on add record. Done. So as I will go back here and I will click on verify. Well, you can always skip this part and skip this verification process and do it later. But now I'm just going to show you how to do it. Click on verify. That's it. Then click on go to property. So this is the Google Search Console for this domain name, boofstand.com. Now let's go ahead and add the sitemap. Go to the menu at the top left corner here. Click on Sitemaps. And here is where you enter the sitemap URL. So I'm just gonna copy my sitemap URL here and paste it here and click on Submit. What is a keyword? A keyword is the term or the words that you use when you search on Google. Here, the keyword is running shoes. Running shoes is actually one keyword. And the results are shown here, which also have the keyword here, running shoes, running shoes. And the article or the content of this web page also have the keyword running shoes, as well as the link here. Same goes for Nike here, running shoes, here, here, and a lot more. So if running shoes is your targeted keyword, do ensure that you have the keyword inside your website, such as all these other websites here. That's how you ensure that your website will appear each time when someone searches for the keyword on Google. Let's look at another keyword here, a longer keyword, which is Best Value Hotel in Seoul. Scroll down and you'll find all those top websites which have that keyword. For example, of course, tripadvisor.com, career-hotels.net, CNN, booking.com, and a lot more. But you also notice that there's this huge listing here from Google Maps. So if you're an establishment, which is like a hotel or restaurant or a shop, you definitely want to list your shop on Google Maps because it will appear on top here. So this is a longer keyword and this is a shorter keyword. It can be as short as just shoes. So generally, the shorter the keyword, the harder it is for you to rank on top of Google search results because there's just so many companies or so many websites trying to be on top here. So you can always try a longer keyword like this, or rather a more specific keyword like this, which has more words in it. We call these long keywords as long tail keywords. So by using long tail keywords, it is actually easier for your website to appear high on Google search results because long tail keywords are more specific, hence less competition. In the SEO world, often you will hear the terms short tail and long tail keywords. But what do they mean? Let's look at this graph, for example. You have the search volume, which is the amount of keywords that are being searched on Google. And you have the number of words inside a keyword. So a short tail keyword is a keyword which has 1 to 3 words inside it. Hence the name short tail. Imagine that this is a tail of a horse. Here looks like a short tail. For instance, the keyword running shoes, which has 2 words inside it, so it is a short tail keyword. On the other hand, here you have the long tail keyword, which has 3 or more words inside it. For example, running shoes for kids, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 words inside a keyword, a long tail keyword. So that's the difference between a short tail and a long tail keyword. Let's look at the differences between short tail and long tail keywords. First, we have the number of words. We learned that short tail only has 1 to 3 words, while long tail has 3 or more words. Now, in terms of volume, search volume, you have more people searching on search engines using short tail keywords here, search volume which is high. On the other hand, long tail tend to have less search volume because it is more specific, hence less people would search a specific long tail keyword. For competition, it is high for short tail keyword because everybody wants to be ranked high on the search engine results by using short tail keyword. While long tail keyword tend to have less competition. So it's easier for you to be ranked higher on search engine results if you use long tail keyword. Focus is low for short tail because it's more broad, for example, running shoes or just shoes. On the other hand, long tail keyword is more specific. For example, running shoes for kids. So the focus is higher. In terms of cost, now this cost involved in the use of Google AdWords to advertise your website on the Google search engine results. The cost for you to pay for each time someone clicks on your ad on the search engine result is higher. So you have to pay higher for each cost per click, CPC. While for long tail, the cost is cheaper for long tail keywords. And also conversion rate for short tail tend to be less. Conversion rate here means that the amount of time that your website appears on the search engine results against the number of clicks that you have. So here, the conversion is relatively low, while for the long tail, the conversion is higher because long tail keyword is more specific. So if you provide a more specific result, hence the conversion rate is higher. So the ultimate question is, which one is better? Well, it really depends. You could choose short or long. So the ultimate question here is that should you focus more on short tail keywords or long tail? Well, the truthful answer is it really depends on your business. It depends on the factors listed down here. So if your business has a very high volume for short tail keyword against long tail, and the volume for long tail is like negligible, then you have no choice but to focus on short tail. However, if you have a lot of combination of long tail keywords for your business, you may want to focus more on long tail. About competition, what if you have very low competition for short tail keywords because you're in a very ultra niche business? So it's okay to have short tail. On the other hand, if the competition is fierce for short tail keyword, you want to focus on long tail instead. Focus or cost or conversion rate all involves in your decision making whether you want to try short or long. But if I were you, I would do both. I will do a combination of short and long, which ultimately provides more traffic from search engine to my website. But I will be more specific in choosing what exact keyword that I want to target for short or long. Now let's learn how to create a Google Ads account without using a credit card. First thing you should do is you should go to this URL here, which is ads.google.com/home/tools/manager-accounts. Or to simplify this, just go to Google and search for a keyword with the keyword Google Manager Account. And you'll see this link here. Click on this link. And this page basically tells you how to go to that Google Ads page in order to create a manager's account. So you have two versions, as you know. Previously, Google Ads was called Google AdWords, which is here. We're not going to use the old version. We're going to use the new version here, where you need to click on this link. Now, when you click on this link, you'll actually, this is a Korean translation of that page, you will actually see a page like this. So it is on this page that you will create that manager's account. So at the bottom here, at this icon, at this button, click on create a manager account. So this is where you need to fill in your details. So I'm going to fill in mine. Name of account is a test account. So how will you primarily use this Google Ads Manager account? Just like to manage other people's account. Second option, go down and you can fill in the rest here, where your country, your time zone, as well as your currency. Then at the bottom, click on Save and Continue. So now you need to log into your Google account. Alright, so we have created an account on Google Ads. So I'm just gonna skip all this first. So now as you can see here, there are no accounts listed here. So we actually have to create an account in order for us to use the keyword planner. As you know, the reason why we want to create a Google Ads account without a credit card is because we want to use the keyword planner. So I'm gonna click on the accounts menu here on the left side. And here I will click on the plus icon. Select create new account. Give it a new account name. I will say new. You can put whatever name that you want. Country, your time zone, your currency, and so forth. Then click on create account. And that's it. So now you have an account here. So now to access your keyword planner, you just have to go to click on tools up here, then keyword planner. So of course, there are two ways for you to use the keyword planner. One is to get keyword ideas, and one is to create or to search for the volume for specific keyword. So that's how you create a Google Ads account without credit card in order to use the keyword planner tool. So let's start by using the first feature to find keyword ideas for our business. Running shoes, and click on Get Started here. So what happens here is that Google will suggest multiple keywords that is related to my business here. And you see that this is the average monthly searches for these specific keywords, the level of competition, as in how many people are trying to compete for these keywords in order to appear on the first page of Google search results, the impression of ads, and etc. Now you don't have to worry about all this cost here because this is all related to Google AdWords. We're not going to use Google AdWords. We just want to use this tool to know the amount of monthly searches here. So you definitely want to target keywords that have high monthly searches, like here. So this first keyword here, running shoes, have 100,000 to 1 million searches in a month. This is pretty high. Anything that you see in millions are considered high monthly volume. You can always store it like this. So you can see that highest monthly searches for keywords related to running shoes are Nike shoes, sneakers, and so forth. You can even change this to more specific long tail keywords. Say, for example, running shoes for kids. And click on Get Results on the right side. So here you can see more keyword ideas. So some of the keywords have very low searches, which may not be the keywords that you want to target. However, you can go scroll down further and you can find those that have more monthly searches. Now you can always search based on different locations. For example, I can change this to say South Korea. I can remove United States here and click Save. And it will show me the popular keywords that are used by people in South Korea. I could also change the language here to Korean if I want to, Chinese, Spanish, and etc. If you want to have keyword ideas for long tail keywords, we can change it here. Now let's remove this and let's change to something more specific like running shoes for kids. Click on Get Results on the right side and you'll see all the monthly searches for keywords related to running shoe for kids, such as this one, shoes for girls, kids sneakers, which is very high, and kids basketball shoes, boys shoes. So these are the targeted keywords that you want to target because they have high monthly searches. If you want to download the list of keywords here with all the metrics shown here, click on the link at the top, Download Keyword Ideas. And a report will be generated for you in the CSV format. Save the report. And let's go ahead and open it. So this is the report for the list of keywords that you saw on the website. Now let's just say we know a few specific keywords that you want to target. If that's the case, go down here and click on this down arrow for us to search those specific keywords, for us to find out the search volume for those specific keywords. So for example, I'm just going to enter running shoes for kids, and let's just enter another one, say running shoes for, let's just say running shoes for dogs. Click on Get Started. And at the bottom here are the two keywords we entered. And you don't have to worry about this part here because all these are related to Google AdWords, which is not going to be covered here. So I would like to look at the search volume. So click on Historical Metrics on the top menu here. And you see that for the keyword kids running shoes, you have 1,000 to 10,000 searches. However, for the dog running shoes, in fact, there are some people searching for running shoes for dogs. So we have 10 to 100 searches in a month. So this is the important part that here we want to know, which is the average monthly searches. Now these monthly searches are for the location United Kingdom. You can always change the location based on the geographic area where you want to target. You can also change the language and the search networks. But for now, we're just going to focus on Google search. So let's go ahead and add another keyword by clicking on this big plus button here. And let's go ahead and say cheap running shoes and select an ad group. Let's just select ad group 1, click on save, and cheap running shoes keyword has an average of 1,000 to 10,000 searches as well, same as this one. So that's how you find out the average monthly searches for specific keywords. You could also see the competition level here. Now, generally, these kind of keywords you have high competition, but you don't have to worry too much about the competition here because, as you know, there are a lot of long tail keywords that we could use. You could change the timeline here on the monthly searches. You can select last month, last 12 months or the last 2 years? How about we select last month? So it's about the same. You'll notice that some of the keywords have been changed by Google. Now, for instance, I actually entered running shoes for kids, but instead, Google changed it to kids running shoes. So in your SEO campaign, you should try to target the keyword kids running shoes instead of running shoes for kids. That's more specific for Google's use. However, Google's search engine is pretty smart nowadays. They could tell the difference between kids running shoes and running shoes for kids. Now, if you want to download the list of keywords here with all the stats, click on Download Keywords at the top here. And a report in the CSV format will be generated for you to download. And click on Save. Click on that file here, and you should be able to see the metrics as was displayed on the website, like this. Here are the 5 SEO factors that you need to consider when you're working on your SEO process. First factor are the domain name factors, elements that are related to your domain name. Then we have the on-page factors, also known as page level factors, where it's related to your web pages on your website. We also have the on-site factors, site level factors, which are related to your website itself. Then we have backlink factors, factors involving links from other websites linking to your website. Lastly, we have the user engagement factors, how users are engaging with your website or web pages. For example, website traffic, time on site, and so forth. So these are the 5 SEO factors that you need to consider when you want to rank your website high on Google search. Here I want to share with you some SEO best practices. These practices have worked effectively for me, and I believe it will work for you too. First, remember that when you perform SEO, you're performing it for your users, not for Google. Now, a lot of times we get blinded with the intention of trying to perform SEO just for the sake of pleasing Google, getting Google to want to rank our website on the first page of the search results. Now, remember that Google is serving users, people like you and me. And obviously, whatever that we like, Google will like it too. So if you always focus on your users instead of Google, naturally, Google will rank your website high on the search results. Second, always try to focus on quality content rather than quantity. I know some of you may think that, oh, I should have as many backlinks as I could for my website, but you should actually focus on getting not that many backlinks, but high quality backlinks from high authority websites. So always try to focus on your content, the quality of your content, the uniqueness of your content, the length, a longer article instead of a short article, an article with more images and multimedia, and etc. Here's an example of a good quality content. Now, around 2014, in fact, in August 2014, I actually wrote this article entitled 6 Signs of Fantasy Football Syndrome. Now, during that time, no one has ever coined the term fantasy football syndrome. So I figured that why don't I write something about that? So when I wrote this article, and from the moment I published it online, within less than an hour, Google actually indexed this article and it appeared on Google search engine results. And even today, 4 years later, I'm still ranked high on this keyword. here, right here. So this is a very unique article that during that time. So this is an example of a high quality article, although it may not look so long, but it is unique enough and compelling enough for people who loves fantasy football. And another best practice I would like to share is focus on multiple SEO factors, starting from factors that are easiest for you to implement, then moving onwards to the harder ones for you to do. Reason is because there are hundreds of factors that could influence your ranking on Google. So start with the easiest one first, because that's the easiest one you can do. Eventually move towards the harder ones. So in this way, you will get more motivated as you see your website climbing up the Google ranking.